Please welcome President and Chairman, A&E Networks Group, Paul Buccieri.
Hi, everyone. Isn't it wonderful to be here together? Mr. President and Dr. Biden, you have both been extraordinary examples of people who have devoted their lives to service. And we are so grateful to be at the People's House here to honor everyday history makers with an amazing performance from the legendary Sir Elton John. We're also grateful to have frontline workers, teachers, yes, advocates for change, and community heroes here with us tonight. They're all here with us tonight. Now, over the years, the History Channel has been honored to collaborate with the administration on a number of initiatives that are dear to all of us, including supporting education, veterans and their families, and of course, the humanities. Tonight, we celebrate the artistry and humanitarian efforts of Sir Elton John. Elton, your commitment to equality and human dignity, particularly in the fight against HIV and AIDS over the last 30 years, has been unparalleled. And David, you've been right there with him. Your music has ignited our spirit in times of joy and sorrow. As both an artist and an activist, you simply make the world a better place. On behalf of the History Channel and our partners at the Walt Disney Company, the Hearst Corporation, and everyone here, we are so appreciative to be in this historic place honoring you. You are truly an icon of creativity and compassion. And we are among the millions upon millions who have benefited from all your precious gifts. Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Please welcome Athen White.
Good evening, everyone. I am so honored to be here to experience this evening of music. One of the best memories I have is of my sisters and I taking my father to see The Lion King on Broadway in New York City. Within 30 seconds of Elton John's score brought tears to my father's eyes. Now, my father is not a man of very many words, or even emotes in the slightest bit, but the power of music moved him. Music unlocks the memories we keep. It expresses how we feel, and we feel a lot. One of the common threads throughout our existence is music. My grandmother, who I lost in 2020, started suffering from Alzheimer's, but she never forgot the words to her favorite Celia Cruz song. I work at a nonprofit organization here in Washington, D.C., and we create spaces, yes, thank you, we create spaces where LGBTQ plus youth can feel safe, to be themselves. In the work I do with young people, music becomes a conversation starter. Youth don't always want to sit down and talk, but when you add an element of creativity, it opens up the possibility of being free to say what they feel. They feel seen, understood. Music, Elton John's music especially, has shaped my life, as I know it has shaped yours as well. And I think it's amazing that when this president and first lady had the opportunity to create this special moment to bring people together for a night of healing and joy, they decided to invite people like us, frontline workers, advocates, educators, union members, so I'm deeply honored to be here with all of you. And now, it's my honor to welcome to the stage President Joe Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden.
Thank you, Athen. It's leaders like you, those helping the next generation live authentically and find their voice, who make me so hopeful for our future. And thank you to Paul Buccieri and A&E for helping us put this event together. Isn't this incredible? First Lady Laura Bush is with us tonight. And Laura, it's such an honor to welcome you and your family back to the White House. And finally, I want to say what a joy it is to be here with the man who has inspired, supported, and loved Sir Elton John for so many years, his husband, David. have the power to bring us together like music. It can compel us to move as one on the dance floor, to sing along with strangers when we hear that familiar tune. It's a voice for the feelings we can't always define. When the piano plays, the strings swell, the drums beat in time with our hearts, we find joy, or a balm for our sorrows, or the harmonies that tell us we aren't alone. And in that spirit, as we celebrate Elton John's music, we also celebrate you, everyday history makers. Many of you are my colleagues, fellow teachers like Leah Michael Dillard. Love the teachers. So Leah has taught 7th grade English for 20 years. And Leah, your students are better thinkers and more engaged citizens because of you. We also have first responders and healthcare heroes here like Dr. Amber Pearson. Amber was the first person in her family to go to college, and it wasn't easy. She worked multiple jobs, took out loans, and when she finally reached her dream, she gave back to others as an audiologist for veterans and their families, serving the men and women who serve us so well. And in this crowd are leaders of the beautiful, bold, and diverse future we are building together, like Javier Gomez, a student from Miami. When his governor passed a law targeting the LGBTQ community, he didn't sit back. Javier, you remind us of the power of one person who is willing to speak up for what is right. And that's what this night is all about. Coming together, using our voices, celebrating that here in America, our differences are precious and our similarities infinite.
Yes, Dr. Gill.
Elton once said, music has healing power. It has the ability to take people out of themselves for just a few hours. We're here tonight to once again lose ourselves and be brought together, perhaps even healed, by the power of music.
Yes.
And now I get to introduce another huge fan who also happens to be the President of the United States, my husband, Joe Biden.
You had to stand for Jill, but you can sit for me. Please, all have a seat. Please, have a seat. Thank you, Jill. Thank you all for being here on such a special evening. Nathan, leaders like you are helping the next generation live an authentic voice, and I want to thank you very much for introducing me. Look, as my colleagues, many of whom from the Senate are still here, came tonight, they always used to kid me because I always quoting Irish poets on the floor of the Senate. They think I did it because I'm Irish. That's not the reason. I did it because they're the best poets in the world. And one who we lost not too long ago, Seamus Heaney, once wrote, and I quote, "Once in a lifetime, the longed-for tidal wave of justice rises up, and hope and history rhyme. Throughout his incredible career, Sir Elton John has been that tidal wave, a tidal wave to help people rise up and make hope and history rhyme. 300 million records sold, 71 Billboard hits, nearly half in the top 10, 6 Grammy Awards, 2 Oscars, 1 Tony, among the multiple nominations across the board, 4,000 performances around the world, a singer, songwriter of our time for all time. On his final tour in Washington, Jill and I invited Elton to the White House to thank him on behalf of the American people. So, like so many Americans, our family loves his music. His songs take us back to a time, a place, a memory. Songs that make every day exceptional, help us connect and come alive. And songs that reflect the artist's gift, that sixth sense to imagine what no one else can, and then sing and play and dream until he sets that feeling free. As Jill just mentioned, we're joined by so many people that he's set free to be themselves, to be treated with dignity and respect they deserve, families and advocates in the fight against HIV/AIDS. A fight that he has led with sheer will, and the fight for those lives lost and those lives that we can save. Leaders standing up for equality of all people, no matter who you are or who you love. Every day Americans of every generation, every background, who know that life can be cruel and full of struggle, but it can also be full of joy and purpose. And we're joined tonight by the UK Ambassador to the United States, Karen Pierce, during a difficult time. Karen, where are you? Karen, thank you. Thank you for being here, Karen. Jill and I traveled to London to pay our respects to the royal family on the Queen's passing. Our hopes tonight, our hope is that Sir Elton John's music heals the sorrow as it often has in the past. Throughout his career, Elton found his voice, not only his voice, but his voice to help others and help them find their voice. With his hope, he made history rhyme for countless people in our nation. That's what tonight is all about. Elton often talked about how American music changed his life and how the different genres and sounds influence his own music and imagination. It's clear Elton John's music has changed our lives. To David and the boys, thank you for sharing your husband and dad with us tonight. And to Elton, on behalf of the American people, thank you, and I sincerely mean this, thank you for moving the soul of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, if my mom were here, she said, God bless you, son. Let's hear your music. Thank you.
Elton John is
authentic, colorful.
I think he's a genius.
Hilarious.
Been a great father.
Icon. Philanthropist.
It's impossible to describe Elton in a few words.
Billie Jean King interview, take one.
Take one.
Elton John is endearing.
He's fun, he's competitive, he's intense.
He seems to get what it's like to be a real person.
His voice and his name alone has empowered people to live their authentic life and be their authentic self.
Elton John's impact is generational.
I've always felt like Elton was my guardian angel, so to speak.
Elton John was an amazing example of somebody who came out and was fearless about it.
It really gave so many kids inspiration and hope.
His heart is huge. He's just so caring.
The way that he bridges his art with his story is his superpower.
Elton John is one of those few people that defies demographic.
He has made the world a better place for people to navigate the earth, regardless of gender, identity, race, financial status. No one's left behind.
Are there any other memories or stories?
Yeah, I'd like to share one with you. During the last few days of Ryan's life, Ryan became very ill. He was in the hospital for a couple months. I looked over at Elton, and he had tears just running down his face. I went over and put my arm around him, and I said, "What's the matter?" He said, "You know, with all the money that's in this room, we can't bring this boy back to life." It was a real realization to Elton at that time. He had everything. He had everything he could ever want, but he didn't have his health. I think that dwelled on him so much that that's why he went and got help, went into rehab.
Elton feels like he's got a second chance. He promised himself he would just give back the rest of his life.
In September of 2019, my husband heard about the Elton John Yellow Brick Road concert and decided we should go. And then COVID hit, and the concert was, of course, postponed. Fast forward several months later, my husband came down with COVID, and on December 8th of 2020, he passed away, never having the opportunity to go to the concert. When the concert was rescheduled, I wasn't sure that I could go, but Jeanette said, "Come on, we got to do it for Dad." And I felt my husband's presence there with us that night. Elton was such an inspiration, just listening to his music.
The music, it's about love, and it's about hope. And no matter where you are, what generation you are, that's always relevant.
Well, first of all, Elton's legacy's not finished.
You know, we talk about transcending generations. That was what he's so good at, and he's still doing it.
He's like this big celebrity, but to us, he's our friend.
That fool was wearing a Donald Duck outfit, standing on top of a piano in the 1970s, and he has not stopped. For Elton's 75th birthday, he wrote a letter to his sons where he explained the importance of being a man, giving back to the world. It's an amazing letter.
But honestly, it could be an open letter to the world.
I could have never dreamed where life would take me.
I was told to fit in, do what others expected.
Even when it didn't feel right.
Whoever you grow up to be, just be you.
Just be you.
Just be you.
Just be you.
Fully and completely you.
Build bridges, not walls.
Most people, gay, straight, black, white, rich or poor,
All want to be safe, respected, loved, and free.
I've seen how we can make progress by acknowledging our differences
and learning how to have compassion and empathy for each other.
Give back.
This world is unequal and unfair.
It's on us to make it better. By opening a dialogue, we have opened our hearts and minds.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Push the envelope a bit.
And ruffle some feathers where you need to.
Remember what unites us? What unites us?
What unites us
is far greater than what divides us.
I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world.
I can't thank him enough for all he's done and how he wants to make this world a better place and how much he's given and continues to give. You know what? Are you still going? Elton always wanted to live like a legend, and he does.
Please welcome this evening's special guest, Sir Elton John.
much. Don't know what to say. What a dump. I've played in some places before that have been beautiful, but this is probably the icing on the cake. And I want to thank everybody who asked me to play tonight. I don't know how to take a compliment very well, but it's wonderful to be here amongst so many people who have helped my AIDS Foundation and my heroes, the ones that work day to day on the front line. Teachers, nurses, everybody who's helped. They're the heroes to me. God bless you. Let's have some music. It does bring us together. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. Sat on the roof and kicked up the moss with a few of the verses. Oh, they got me quite cross, but the sun's been quite kind. Well, I wrote that song. Oh, it's for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do, you see, I forgot if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean. Oh, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. You can tell everybody that's your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alan, could you make my voice a little sharper? It's a bit muffled. Thank you.
Jean, baby, LA lady, Simpsons for the band, pretty-eyed, pirate smile. You're marrying music man, ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand, and now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my hand. Jesus freaks out on the street, head down, tickets out, cigar, turning back, she just laughs. The boulevard is not that bad. Can I makes a stand in an auditorium, looking on. She sings the songs, the words she knows, the tune she hung on. Lay me down sheets of linen. You had a busy day today. All the clocks are tired of dancing. I count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of linen. You've had a busy day today. For all you dancers out there.
Thank you so much.
She packed my bags last night, pre-flight, 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space. I'm such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Touchdown brings me around again to find I'm not the man that think I'm at home. I'm a rocket man, burning out his fuse up hell alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me around again to find I'm not the man that think I'm at home. Oh, I'm a rocket man, burning out his fuse up here alone. Ours ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell. And there's no one there to raise them if you did. And all the science I don't understand. It's just my job 5 days a week. Rocket man, oh rocket man. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me around again to find I'm not the man that think I'm at home. I'm a rocket man, burning out his fuse up here alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me around again to find I'm not the man that think I'm at home. Oh, rocket man, time. I think it's gonna be a long, long time. It's gonna be a long, long time. It's gonna be a long, long time. Rocket Man, I'm a rocket man. Rocket Man, rocket man, rocket man, rocket man, rocket man, rocket man, rocket man. Rocket Man, Rocket Man, Rocket Man, Rocket Man. A long, long time. Gonna be a long, long time. Long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. 'Cause I'm a rocket, yeah, I'm a rocket. I'm a rocket, 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 rocket man. I've been involved in fighting AIDS since 1991, and it was a pretty grim situation back then. And the reason that I got involved in AIDS is because years before that, I met Ryan White, and I met his family. I met Jeannie and Andrea, his sister. And I got to love them and look at them, and they faced such terrible hostility and hatred. And yet, when Ryan was dying in the hospital in Indianapolis, the last week of his life, where I went and tried to help Jeannie do menial things, there was no hatred from Jeannie. There was no hatred from Andrea. There was just forgiveness. And I thought to myself, this is incredible. I would be so full of hate. And I went back to my hotel room and I thought, these people are real Christians. They have everything, but they have nothing. The everything is what I wanted.
because they had faith. And I would go back to a hotel room and complain about the wallpaper and the furniture. And I thought, you know, your life is pretty messed up here. 6 months after Ryan passed, I got sober and clean. And if it wasn't for Jeannie and Ryan and Andrea, I wouldn't be here talking tonight. They saved my life. They showed me that there's a better way of forgiveness, love, kindness. And I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. Jeannie White is an absolute saint. I adore her. And Ryan, you saved my life. Thank you so much. I want to dedicate this song to them. They're inspirational people, like all of you out there.
I can't lie, no more of your darkness. On my picture seem to fade to black and white. I'm growing tired, and time stands still before me. Frozen here on the ladder of my life. It's too late to save myself from falling. I took a chance and changed your way of life. But you misread my meaning when I begged you. Close the door and you left me blinded by the light. Don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, it's always someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. But losing everything is like the sun going down on me. I can't find all the right romantic line to see me walk and see the way I feel. Don't discard me just because you think I'm in your home. But these cuts I have, they need love to help that heal. Don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, so if someone else I see, I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. But losing everything is like the sun going down on me. Gotta let the sun come down on me. Although I search myself, so is someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. But losing everything is like the sun going down on me. But losing everything is like the sun going down on me. Yeah. I've been to Washington quite a lot. I've been to an AIDS conference here, World AIDS Conference. I've been to the Senate, I've been to Congress to lobby for money, and they've always come through. And it's to all credit to America that they have led the way in funding the fight against HIV and AIDS. And it's never ceases to amaze me the generosity of the American people and the American government. And looking at First Lady Laura Bush over there, I remember when I came to get the Kennedy Center Award, and I had the most fantastic conversation with President Bush backstage at the interval. And then he said, "Get the French." I said, "Is there anything?" He said, "Is there anything I can do?" And he said, "Yes. Get the French to give more fucking money." And the AIDS epidemic in America has always been a bipartisan thing. One of the few things, probably the only thing left at this time is on both sides, money comes from AIDS. I can't tell you how many times I've rung Lindsey Graham, but it's quite a few times, and to his credit, he's always come through. But I want to say to the First Lady, President Bush accelerated the whole thing with his PEPFAR bill. It was the most incredible thing. We would never have got this far without the President Bush administration giving us that money. So please tell him from me, give him a big hug. It was an astonishing moment in the fight against HIV and AIDS. And I just wish America could be more bipartisan on everything. But, you know, what can you do? Now, a little person whispered in my ear, but not a little person, a grown-up, and said, this particular song meant something to the president when he used to drive his kids to school. And I can't imagine him singing it, but I might get him up here to join me in a minute, but I won't, actually. So, I remember when Rock was young, me and Susie had so much fun, holding hands and skimming stones. Had an old ghost Chevy, a place of my own, but the biggest kick I ever got was done to thank y'all, the Crocodile Rock. while the other kids were rocking around the clock. We were hopping and bopping to the crocodile rock. Well, crocodile rocking, stop and chop, and when your feet up, can't keep still. I never knew me a better time, and I guess I never will. A lot of mama on Friday nights, soon as you walk up, that's so tight. Crocodile rocking was that hard outside. Let me hear you. La 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 la. La 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 la. Well, the years went by, a rock just died. Soon you went and left me for some foreign guy. Long nights crying by the record machine, dreaming of a sailing the old routines that they never kill the thrill we got. Running up to the crocodile rock, learning fast out the wasteland pie. Really thought the crocodile rock would last well. Crocodile rockin', stop and jump, and man, your feet up, can't keep still. I never knew me a better time, and I guess I never will. A lot of mama Friday nights, soon as you walk out, that's the tight. Crocodile rockin' was that hard outside. All right. Brilliant. I remember when rock was young, being through the had so much fun, holding hands and skimming stones. Had a no-go Chevy, players of my own, but the biggest gig I ever got was doing a thing called the crocodile rock. While the other kids were rocking around the clock, we were hopping and bopping to the crocodile rock. Well, crocodile rocking, stomp and jump, and man, your feet up, can't keep still. I never knew me a better time, and I guess I never will. A lot of my on Friday nights, soon as you walk out, that's so tight. Crocodile rocking was that out of sight. La 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 la. Oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ooh yeah. Thank you so much. I can't tell you what it means to me to be here and being a guest of honor tonight to play to you people. I honestly take my advocacy and my philanthropy seriously, but I don't think I'm the great be-end and all-end of things, because I'm not on the front line, as I said earlier. But my dear hope, and I would like to thank Ann Aslett and David Furnish, my husband, from my foundation, for being behind me 100% and doing the most amazing job to end AIDS by 2030. We can do it. We can do it. And we will do it, okay? We will do it. I, of course, by that time will be 83. But I'll still be fighting. I will not stop fighting for people who have passed away, sometimes in the most painful circumstances, the people who died to get America and the world off its ass and do something about this terrible disease. So We've made a lot of progress. We've made a lot, but we have to get rid of the stigma. But I won't take my foot off the accelerator ever. And I know that most people in this room will join me and say they won't take their foot off the accelerator either. People need hope. They need dignified lives. They need love and care. And people to know that if you're even in another continent, people feel loved and know there's someone over somewhere else that is caring about them. That is so important. Love and care to people who need it. You go to Africa and you see what happens to people when they feel love and hope and they're given a reason to live. It's the best feeling in the world. So thank you all for being so generous to me tonight. Mr. President, Dr. Biden, I won't forget this night ever. It's just an amazing, for me being English or British or whatever. What can I say? But thank you a million times over. And for everybody here who came tonight, let's keep the fight. Let's keep the fight on, okay? Like when a face is just like ice. There's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that best to you. And that's the thing this fool never win. Look at me, I'm coming back. I've got a taste of love in a simple way. You need to know I'm still standing. You just fade away. You know I'm still dead, better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still dead after all this time. Back up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Once I never could have hoped to win. Is that down the road leaving me again? Such you be meant to cut me down. If a love was just a circus, you'd be in town by now. You know, I'm still dead, better than I ever did. I'm looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still dead after all this time. Back up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know that I'm still standing better than I ever did. Oh, looking like a true survivor. Yeah, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all the time. Back up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah.
Well, tonight, it's my great honor, and I mean this sincerely, to present the National Humanities Medal to Sir Elton John. Major Yang, please read the citation.
On it, sir. Good evening, everyone. The President of the United States awards this National Humanities Medal to Sir Elton John for moving our souls with his powerful voice and one of the defining songbooks of all time. An enduring icon and advocate with absolute courage who found purpose to challenge convention, shatter stigma, and advance the simple truth that everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect.
I think we surprised him.
I just said to the First Lady, I'm never flabbergasted, but I'm flabbergasted and humbled and honored by this incredible award from the United States of America. I will treasure this so much, and it will make me double my efforts to make sure this disease goes away. Your kindness, America's kindness to me as a musician is second to none. But in the war against AIDS and HIV, it's even bigger. And I can't thank you enough. I'm really emotional about this. Thank you.
And by the way, it's all his fault that we're spending $6 billion in taxpayer money this month to help AIDS fight HIV/AIDS. Hello. This is David, his husband. I'm sure he's easy, no problem, right? None. Anyway, we're going to get a picture. Come on, David, get in. Enjoy the evening, everyone. We're not over yet.